Testing, 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 testing. Welcome to episode 5 of Creating a Legacy. Yes, I'm still alive. I haven't vanished off the face of the earth. Those of you that follow me on Twitter will know what I've been doing the last few months. My wife and I, we've managed to buy our first ever house, so it's been an exciting few months and a busy few months as well. And to be honest, the main reason why I stopped Regen Rovers and why I stopped creating videos on this channel over the last 3 or 4 months is that I completely lost the motivation to play Football Manager. It was like a switch just turning off inside me, and I just couldn't motivate myself to even open the game up and play it, let alone make videos. So that's why I've not been here. I think I needed a long extended break, and now I'm really buzzing. I'm ready for FM18. That'll be coming out in the next month and a half, I suppose. Maybe the next month we'll be seeing the beta come out, hopefully the end of October. And I'm really pumped for the new game and excited to make new content. But on the screen before you, you can see it's episode 5 of my West Ham United Creating a Legacy save. I suddenly it was like the switch flicked back on inside me. It was very strange. I suddenly had the motivation to play Football Manager, probably just thinking about FM18 coming out. It made me think I really want to play something. I want to play some sort of save before FM18 comes out. I can't wait until then. So I thought the West Ham save was the most ideal one to do because it was a nice slow-paced save. Those of you that have watched the series so far will know it's been an episode per season. So kind of the opposite of what some Football Manager YouTubers have been doing recently, where they've played every single second of the game in video format. I went the opposite way and decided to just do one season per video, and I think you guys seem to enjoy that format. It's a bit like the blogging format in a way, where you play a season and then you recap it by writing about the season and putting a few screenshots in there as well, but this is obviously in video format. Anyway, our 5th season, it was a very successful season. I will recap the whole save as well in this video because, it's been a hell of a long time since I uploaded episode 4. I didn't think I would continue. I kind of got stuck at this. Let me just scroll down. Where is it? Liverpool, where are you, Liverpool? You're in the northwest. Here we go. Yes, this game against Liverpool. I was about to play this game and suddenly I just couldn't motivate myself to play Football Manager anymore. In fact, I couldn't motivate myself to play this save anymore because I did play Regen Rovers for a bit longer and then gave up on FM for a few months whilst all the excitement of buying a house and moving in and all that jazz. Still don't have the internet, by the way. I kind of do. I'm connected to the BT Fon thing, the street internet, because I was with TalkTalk and they just messed me around, and I decided to give up on them, and I've switched to BT. Don't know if that's a good decision or not. We shall find out. But I'm not officially getting the internet until October, but it will be in time for Football Manager. Actually, this internet's quite fast, to be fair, considering it's like free. It's not free internet unless you're a BT customer, but it is just street. I don't really understand how it works. There must be like little Wi-Fi things around. Anyway, I digress. This is irrelevant. I do have the internet. That's how I've uploaded this video, but I don't have my own private internet yet. But it will arrive soon. I don't think you care. I'm blabbering here. Let's get on with this. Episode 5 then of this magnificent save. I've thoroughly enjoyed this West Ham save, actually. As a West Ham fan, you won't be surprised to know that I've enjoyed this save. Although, if I got relegated, then I wouldn't have enjoyed it. But I tend to do rather well with West Ham. What is going on here? This is confusing. That's not meant to be there. I'm just taking my top off. I'm boiling. Anyway, I'm not used to this video stuff. I'll probably sound a bit rusty at the moment, but let's see. There's probably going to be something going wrong. We finished 4th, as you can see there in the table. Enough to qualify for the Champions League. If we just go back in time to the start of the save and let's see the progress that we have made. In that first season, we finished 6th, 73 points. Pretty unlucky not to finish 4th, I guess, in that save in that first season. But it was a very successful first season in charge of the club, finishing above Pep Guardiola's Man City, of course. Second season, it wasn't so good in the league, was it? We finished 14th, 43 points. Still managed to get a +1 goal difference, though, which I'm proud of. But we only won 9 games that season. It was all about the draws. Far too many draws. Third season though, second, and we're only 6 points behind the champions Man United. There really was a distinct possibility we could have won the league that year, but unfortunately we were unable to do so. In the fourth season though, we then did drop out the Champions League places, but we still qualified for the Champions League because, you may remember, we managed to win the Champions League last season. So that's how we qualified for the Champions League this year. And this year, it wasn't much more. Well, we actually only managed to get 2 more points compared to last year, but we did finish in 4th place above Liverpool, Spurs and Wolves, who did very well. They managed to finish above Man City. Quite an incredible season for them. Palace, Southampton and Norwich City relegated this year. Arsenal champions. It was good to see a different team win, because Man United had dominated this. So Arsenal did win it the first season, but they've managed to win it again. Let's just have a look at the stats before I go into the excitement of the Champions League and the other competitions that we did well in this season. We didn't score many goals actually. I'll just go back to the league table in a bit. We certainly weren't very prolific in front of goal, but Gabriel Barbosa did have an incredible season for us creatively and goal scoring wise as well. You can see here, player of the match, he did finish on that list with 6 man of the match awards in the Premier League. Pass completion, Pedro Obiang still playing for us. He was high up the list, as was Josh Cullen, who's done rather well this season as well. Karius, though, had a very good season. Where's clean sheets? It's not showing clean sheets. Let's have a look at clean sheets. Where are you? There you are. So he actually managed to finish joint top of the Golden Glove Award with David De Gea. 22 clean sheets each. Oh, Szczesny's back at Arsenal, as you can see. He finished 3rd. But Barbosa, as you can see here, 2nd highest number of assists in the league. Really good season for him. But as you can see, if we just go here, back to the table, we scored only 51 goals this season. And look at the competition around us. Arsenal scored more than double that. 103 goals. That is absolutely ridiculous. We did have a very good defence though, 2nd best defence in the league after Man United, only conceding 26 goals this season. So we did have a decent goal difference. But look at that. Man United and Arsenal, that is just stupid. They are so overpowered on this save, I tell you. Transfer-wise, let's just have a look at this before I show you how we got on in the other competitions this season. But you can see we spent £42 million, not a huge amount compared to other years, £61 million the previous. In fact, yeah, we've never spent masses, have we? But I guess we can't really compete with the top boys. Although, at the moment, I do have a lot of money to spend in the transfer window. £134 million, although we are close to our wage budget. But there will be a few players leaving the club. Although this does depend if I play another season. I was intending this to kind of be just a recap of the series. I probably won't do another season before FM18 comes out. If I do, then I will upload another video. I wasn't thinking... After episode 4, I didn't think there'd be an episode 5, especially after that long break. But I suddenly just got back into the save the last few days. I've literally played 2/3 of a season in like 2 days. I just suddenly got really hooked. And here we are on the 6th of June 2021. But anyway, the players coming into the team, some really exciting players. We'll start with the free transfer though. Sergio Romero, I don't really know why I signed him. It was a bit of a mistake. He didn't play a single game and he was actually 3rd choice goalkeeper. But he was a free. And how much is he on? 30 grand a week. So it's not huge amounts of money. He's got another year on his contract. I guess he's a good 3rd choice keeper. He's only moaned once about lack of first team football, so that's okay, I suppose. The next cheaper signing was a youngster. We signed a few youngsters, as I always do on this save. At this point, this is when you start to sign the real good wonder kids, and then you just... The thing is, it's ironic really. You sign all these wonder kids in the first 3 or 4 seasons of a save, and then you get to the 5th or 6th season and you just stop playing. So you've signed all these wonder kids for nothing really, because you're never going to use them. Now that's the way it is. This guy, I don't really know why I signed him, because he doesn't have very good potential at all. I think I thought he did, and I've wasted £1.6 million. It's not the end of the world. You get signings from... I think when I signed him, it was probably about 2 or 3 seasons ago when he did have potential, and he's come in eventually, and he's not been as good as I originally thought he would. This is another guy that I signed, a young striker, Unai Landeta, a Spaniard, who... He's an interesting type player. I think he's more of a... He kind of looks like he should be a target man with 16 on heading, but then you look at his jumping reach, 6. What's going on there? I don't really know. So I'm not really sure where he would be best up front. I don't know. We loaned him out to Osasuna and he didn't score a single goal, so I don't think the future's very bright for him. This guy I do have high hopes for, though, if I ever do continue the save. Julian Jimenez, another Spaniard. I picked up a load of Spanish players on this save. He cost £5.75 million from Real Betis, and he looks really good. He's in the first team. I've not played him, though, but he's just been hanging around the periphery of the team, playing for the under-23s mainly. In fact, primarily playing for the under-23s, but I do like the look of him. 16 passing, good teamwork, positioning, work rate, first touch. He's just blessed with a lot of good attributes there. Another player, have we already looked at him? I feel like we already have. Yes, I think we have. Keeps going back. I was going in order of fee. Next up then was we already looked at I've already messed up here. Who haven't we looked at? We've not looked at Ismael Moreno, another Spanish player who is a centre-back, and he's got decent potential, apparently suited for the Championship already. He went on loan to the Bundesliga, FC Union Berlin, and he didn't play very well, as you can see there from the average rating, but never mind, he's young. There's still hope for him. Two more players, I think. This guy I really like the look of. Another Spanish player, Sendewa Rodriguez, who came from Athletic Bilbao for £10 million. Huge amount of money, but in this day and age, it's not really, is it? £10 million isn't that much of a risk, really. He did actually score 3 goals this season, 2 in the league, 1 in the cup competitions. At times, he wasn't great, but he's young, he's learning, and he is improving. How many goals did he get in under-23 football? I think we could probably look here. He's not actually in the team at the moment, so I can't see. I'm pretty sure he scored in the under-23s every now and then when he did play. And lastly, one of the greatest players I've ever signed on Football Manager. That's not hyperbole. He honestly is incredible. Alexander Cabezas from Colombia. He's got 22 caps for Colombia already at the age of 21. He is insane. Look at him. Look at all those attributes. I don't even know where to begin because he's good everywhere. He's a Roman playmaker. He prefers to play in the defensive midfield position compared to central midfield, but he's equally good at both, admittedly. He's just so good. He really is, and he is a proper wonder kid. He's described as in fact, he's not even a wonder kid anymore. He's a world-class midfielder already, and he's only 21 years old. And what a bargain! £13.75 million from Fluminense in Brazil. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, probably not. 7.11 average rating in the league this season. Nothing spectacular. He did play very well in Champions League football. 7.41, 7.34 in the cup competitions as well. So we were better in the cup competitions this season. I generally am with West Ham, if I'm honest. Whenever I've managed them on Football Manager, I tend to win the Champions League before I win the league. That has happened on this save as well. And I find it much easier to win the Champions League. I think my style of play, whatever formations I produce, they are very well adapted to cup competitions, knockout competitions compared to the league format. I can struggle against teams lower in the table. Maybe you guys find that too sometimes. It can be a bit tough to break down those stubborn defences. Anyway, once again, I'm rambling on. But Alexander Cabezas, what a player. Have you seen a better midfielder than him on FM18? If so, please tweet it to me. Tweet the screenshot to me at golden_FM if you don't follow me on Twitter, because he is just insane. No words. Even, I'm speechless. Players going out this season. There's a few players that went out on a free. I got rid of Randolph and Batalla, my 2 goalkeepers that I didn't need anymore. Charlie Austin left. Mark Noble went to Real Betis. Bit of a surprise. Our old club captain, who obviously is Mr. West Ham, but he did want first team football and I just couldn't see him getting it anymore. So he went out on a free. We loaned out 2 of our Argentinian players, Fontana, a right back, and one Cruz Gomez, who unfortunately has picked up a serious injury, but he did have a very good start to his time in Holland. 21 goals this season. Who else? Nerfil and Emmanuel Thompson went on to loan, 2 youngsters. Nerfil's a real life player actually. He's not quite developed as much as I would hope. He's still a decent player though. And he's actually just as good as Creswell and Masuaku if you look at current ability. I think I do need to improve left wing back if I do continue to play this save. Domingos Quino went out on loan. He's not developed as much as I would have hoped. He's still got potential. He's still only 21, but I don't think he's going to get there. Didn't have the best of times at Norwich. He was playing in the Premier League, but he did get relegated. 2 goals, 2 assists, all right average rating. I just don't think he's quite going to be good enough for us. We also sold Winston Reid in January, my only January transfer. Basically, he's got to that age where I don't want to play him anymore. I want to play Reece Burke, Reece Oxford, Tuna, my other young Turkish centre-back who some of you may remember from the first couple... Well, when did he come in? 3rd season? We'll have a look in a second, in fact. Okay, I've recapped the transfers, blabbered away, rambled on like I usually do. What did I win this year then? Obviously, I finished 4th in the league, but I did actually do quite well in some of the other competitions. Just have a look at the season review. You can see I managed to win the Champions League for a 2nd season in a row. What an achievement. Can't quite believe that. We won the Super Cup, we won the World Club Championship as well, and we won the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Frangipan Cup, whatever you want to call it. We managed to win that competition. We did lose in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, but overall, quite a magnificent season from us, winning multiple competitions, 2 major competitions, if you count the League Cup. You can't really count the Super Cup and the World Club Championship, can't you? Can you? Can't you? Can you? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, here we go. We beat Arsenal 4-2 in the Super Cup. Barbosa with 2 goals. Lanzini with 2 goals. He was once again named as Player of the Season, by the way, by the fans, despite being injured a couple of times for quite long periods. But he is a magnificent player. Absolutely love Manuel Lanzini. He's been a brilliant servant to the club as well. And he actually managed to improve on his previous league goal scoring record. He got 11 last year, 19 goals in all competitions last year, by the way. He did get 2 less in all competitions this year, but he did get 12 league goals. Only 1 assist though, quite strange. Only 1 assist. He got 12 3 years ago. Only 2 assists in all competitions. That's why I'm a bit confused. He didn't quite seem as good to me this year, but the fans still voted him Player of the Season. 2nd was in fact our Turkish wonder kid, 20-year-old Tuna. What a man he is. And he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final, which I will have a look at in a second. But what a player he is. Age 20. He's also up there with Cadazes or whatever his name is. Cabezas. I can't even remember his name. The Colombian world-class midfielder. He's also got a 4.5-star current ability. He is phenomenal. Sam Byram, of all people, finished 3rd. He's still my first choice right back. Quite strangely, really, at this stage. It's really hard to find really good fullbacks or wing-backs, I find, on Football Manager. I have found that the last few years, though, on the game. There's not an abundance, and the really, really, really good ones cost way too much money, and you just kind of settle for a decent one. No one's spectacular, but you settle for... I mean, Sam Byron's good. 15 crossing, 15 acceleration, 15 pace. He's a good player. Just being called up to the England squad as well, actually. Signing of the season was Cabezas. Tuna, young player of the season. Goal of the season, Callum Wilson. It wasn't a very good one, so I'm not going to look at it. I don't know why the game decided it was goal of the season, because it wasn't that special at all. So we got off to a good start to the season. Masuaku scoring the winning goal against Man City. We did lose against Man United away from home, though, and they are just an unbelievable team on this save. I've found it difficult against them, haven't I? But then we went on a very good unbeaten run. As you can see, we were doing very, very well in the Champions League. But we did finally lose a game, and it was against Man United once again. 3-1 loss, and then we lost in the FA Cup against Liverpool. Second half of the season overall wasn't quite as good as the first half. We did fall out of contention for winning the league because of a few losses and a few draws. We lost against Brentford, which was bad. We drew against Stoke. We lost against Chelsea 3-2, pretty unlucky in that game. And we actually lost against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League first knockout round, the first leg. However, we did turn it around by beating them in the second leg. But I've skipped over the World Club Championship, or whatever it's called. We were on the semi-final 4-1. Penalties was what separated us in the final against San Lorenzo. Not the greatest game in the world, not the greatest achievement, which is why I kind of skipped over it. We beat them on penalties. We got the win, but it wasn't pretty. Anyway, moving on. You can see we then beat Dortmund in the Champions League. 6-3 on aggregate. That second leg was a bit topsy-turvy. But what an achievement this was, beating Man United in the semi-final. We drew 1-1. Callum Wilson scored at home, and Morata then managed to get an equaliser. And I thought, this is going to be really difficult now. They've got the away goal, but a really brilliant performance from Barbosa in particular enabled us to beat Man United at Old Trafford. Cullen, though, he's got, I think this was a good goal. I just want to see this one. He scored 2 really good goals towards the end of the season, and I think this might be one of them, but let's have a look. Wilson played it in. Cullen, boom, yes, it was a good strike. Really good goal. They had 22 shots to our 7, but we scored the goals that mattered, didn't we? And we got through to the final, and we went on to win it. A 1-0 win against Liverpool in the final. Liverpool finished 5th, so this was their opportunity to qualify for the Champions League next season by beating us. But Tuna, he leapt like a salmon, ironically, to win us the final. It was a corner crossed in, and Tuna at the back post after Reece Burke headed it across. Reece Burke's our new captain after Winston Reid left, who was our new captain after Mark Noble left. But Reece Burke is a star. What a player he is. 10 caps for England. He's 24 years old, but he's so solid. He's wanted by Arsenal. He was wanted by Man City as well earlier in the season. What a player he's turned out to be. He's turned out to be better than Reece Oxford, and it's Reece Burke and Tuna that I favour as my centre-back partnership. It was a boring game. It was really strange, actually, because I clicked play for second half, and I looked away for probably about 30 seconds. I turned around. It was the 89th minute. I thought, what's happened here? I'm still on attacking. I'm not complaining because it's right at the end. So I thought, I better make 3 subs right at the end just to time waste. And it worked. We held on. We won the Champions League for the 2nd season in a row. Before we've even ever won the Premier League on this save, I've managed to win 2 Champions League finals. So looking at the players then for this season, if we look at the goals, top goal scorer Gabriel Barbosa. We didn't score many goals in the league, as you know, but Champions League we were pretty prolific. Barbosa 21 goals in all competitions and 24 assists, which is a record on this save for West Ham. Unbelievable player, he really is. Highly recommend him. He's been a magnificent must-sign player on Football Manager for the last few years. I think Gabriel Jesus, or Jesus, or whatever you want to call him, the Man City player, has overtaken him in real life as that kind of Brazilian world-class. Is he world-class yet? He's a wonder kid, I suppose. But he's kind of overtaken him and stolen the limelight. It was all about Gabriel Barbosa a few years ago. He still has the potential to be a magnificent player. He's obviously at Inter. But we signed him for £34 million. Last season, it wasn't the greatest first season in English football. We did score 22 goals and get 16 assists, but his average rating in the league wasn't the best. But I mean, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Saying it's not the greatest, because he actually scored 1 less league goal this season. It was all about the Champions League and the league and the League Cup, I suppose, for him this year. So yeah, I think I'm being a bit harsh because it's pretty similar seasons. He was just incredibly creative in this new tactic I created, because I was originally playing this formation. I think I played this the last couple of seasons. So long ago, since episode 4, I can't really remember what I was doing. But it's when I started to lose against, when was it? Yeah, so I went through this sort of iffy patch here. It was against, admittedly, pretty strong teams in Man United and Liverpool. But I decided to change it up a bit. I think the first time I used the tactic was against Arsenal, and we managed to win 1-0. I might be wrong, it might have been a bit earlier. But yeah, this new tactic, I did change it a bit. I did actually have 3 in midfield, but I dropped Cabezas back again when I started to have a little bit of difficulty drawing a few games. And it's worked wonders since then, and it obviously managed to win us the Champions League final. Wing-backs on defence. I don't have a very adventurous back four here, I suppose. It's all about Cabezas charging forwards as the roaming playmaker. We've got a solid Obiang in midfield. Cullen has worked really well as a box-to-box midfielder. He's another really good player that's developed nicely on this save. And then just not an advanced playmaker, an attacking midfielder on attack. And Tielemans actually excelled in this position towards the end of the season. I was thinking about selling him in January because he was not performing particularly well up to that point. But he really performed well in that position when Lanzini was out injured. Lanzini played very well there as well, but he did get injured for the last few weeks and only came on in the 90th minute in the Champions League final. But I like it, and I think for FM18 I would quite like to focus on tactics a bit more, trying to increase my tactical knowledge of the game, because there's some people out there, some blogs and some YouTubers that are very good at creating incredible tactics, and they have advanced knowledge of the game and how to really play Football Manager properly. I've kind of stumbled across tactics. I just fling things together, hope for the best, and more often than not it does seem to work for me, but I don't know if that's down to the players rather than the tactic. I don't know, but I have average knowledge of tactics, I would say, on Football Manager. I do sometimes stumble across something that works amazingly well. I wouldn't say this is working amazingly well. It does in the league. We've struggled to score goals at times in the last few games, but in cup competitions it has been very effective. So maybe FM18, I would like to focus that on that a bit more. I don't know, and I need to think what I want to do for FM18. This thing's still here. Why is it still here? Go away. Yes, I need to think about what I want to do on FM18, because Regen Rovers was my main save on FM17. We kind of did end it at the end of a season, so although I know some of you will be disappointed that I didn't continue past that point and give it a go in the Champions League, I was about to play a World Cup with England, wasn't I? And I think that's what kind of killed me off. I just couldn't be... I suddenly just lost the motivation. I couldn't be bothered to manage England in the World Cup for some reason. I just got stuck. I literally got up to the point where I had to select the squad, the England squad, and I just couldn't do it. And it was so bizarre. I'm sure some of you have had that moment in Football Manager where everything suddenly just shuts down and the addiction just dies a death. It's very strange. But suddenly over the last couple of days it's come back to me. I haven't had the inclination to play Regen Rovers, but West Ham especially. And FM18 is coming out soon, and that's a good thing, I think, that I've managed to fall back in love with the game. And I'm really, really looking forward to FM18 and creating some good content for you. I'm thinking about doing some more experiments, because I haven't done that for over a year now, really. I think I made one experiment on FM17. I was so into Regen Rovers, that's all I wanted to do, and I think that's fair enough. But I think next year I'd like to have a bit of variety on the channel. I'd like to do a lower league, say, I'm thinking Chelmsford City. Now, those of you that have been around long enough since FM15, I did a long save with Chelmsford City on that. That's Chelmsford, the place I'm from, which is why I chose them. And I'm interested in trying that again. I don't know if it's too soon. 3 years? Is that a big enough gap? Obviously, there's a lot of people that have come around since then. And I don't know how many of you from... If you watch Chumps to Champs and you've got to this point in the video, let me know. But I don't know how many of you there are still around from those days. But I'm thinking of doing that again. I'd also like to manage a large foreign team, so a well-known, relatively rich foreign team, because I've just done English saves, really, haven't I? And that's kind of been my thing on Football Manager for my whole life. I have dabbled abroad, but I've never really found a team to fall in love with and really get into. But I would like to give it a go with, just to start with, perhaps my first save, like a beta save, with a team like, I don't know, Atletico Madrid or Napoli. You know, one of those teams that they're not guaranteed to win the league, but they've got a strong team and they generally finish, I don't know, third in their respective leagues. Maybe Dortmund even, I don't know. A team like that, which has the opportunity to win the league, but certainly definitely isn't the favourites, but is a big team. So that's probably what I'm thinking of doing on the beta, but we shall see. Suggestions on a postcard, you can give them to me. Obviously not on a postcard because you don't know my address, but yeah, in the comment section or tweet me, whatever. But thanks for watching this West Ham save. I know it's been very sporadic because it was a 1 season per episode video system thing that I did. I'm running out of words to use. My mouth is too dry. I think I've used all the words in my vocabulary now. That's better. H2O. Yeah, leave a like if you're pleased that I finally got round to doing another season of this. I don't know if I'll have time for another one before FM18. I don't know if I want to play another season. If I do, then there will be another video, I guess. If not, then you'll see me for FM18. I might release a couple videos before FM18. We're hopefully going to get some news about it soon and some like what's actually going on with the game and the improvements. There's rumours of a new match engine, I think, flying around Twitter. I don't know if that's true. We shall find out. Until next time, though, enjoy Football Manager. I'll hopefully see you very soon.